It's your lunch break, and we're glad you're spending time with us, folks. This is Panthers 360 on the WPTV YouTube page. Today, joined again by WPTV sports reporter and anchor John Barron. Welcome back to the show, Johnny.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always fun to be able to be out here and be an analyst when I can. So I'm excited to see what the Panthers have in store. We've got a lot to talk about, but fresh coming off a national championship game with Miami versus Indiana, I'm pumped. Hopefully, we'll be able to see something like another series make its way here in South Florida coming up soon, but we'll have to see. Panthers got a long way to go.
Hey, listen, you're no tie. I got the tie loosened. We're ready to talk Cats hockey. Let's talk about a huge return. One of our big guns, Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Okay, the injury was kind of secrecy surrounding it, but he was back, and I mean in a big way against the Minnesota Wild, a key game on the road. Two goals, one of them the overtime winner. Talk about the spark that Brad brings back to the team.
Well, how about we talk about the duo? You got Tkachuk and Marchand finding their path once again. This is a team that has been really just kind of limping along with how many injuries we've seen. And when Marchand went down, it was such a pivotal point to be able to figure out how can we sustain this team, find some wins, and scratch and claw our way back into it. Marchand coming back in is a huge thing. 37 years old, the guy's been a captain before. He's a leader out there right now, especially since we've had so many injuries. And Barkov's still missing. We've had to look to Tkachuk and Marchand to lead this team. And let me tell you something, having those two on the ice, it's been a huge difference. You can see the style of play as well.
You know, it's him and Reinhart. They're leading the team in goals, and it's like the pressure's off Marchand. He doesn't have to be the captain. He fits right in with the finish line. You know, the young guys, Lundell, Oyster-Ryan. Let's hear from Marchand himself after that overtime winner against the Wild right here.
Yeah, it was great to be back with the guys. It's hard watching, but yeah, it felt good to get back out there, and also we need the points right now, so it was a big win for us.
Yeah, gotta bank those points. Oh man, I wish I could see that goal over and over again. Reminded me of another double OT winner in Edmonton last year by Brad Marchand in the final. But he knows he is clutch. He's got that clutch gene. But it seems like every time we take a step forward, we get somebody back, we're still waiting on others. And that includes defenseman Seth Jones, unfortunately not able to make it to the Milan Olympics now. Took that puck to the collarbone in the Winter Classic.
Nothing official on that yet. I mean, but we did see he's week to week. You don't like seeing that go from day to day to week. For us, that typically means they're out for even longer. We've seen that in the past. So hopefully we'll see if Seth Jones after the break comes back, helps out with that defense. We've got a lot of pieces that are going to be coming back from the first line all the way to the fourth. So hopefully he can be one of those additions. This defense cannot take any more hits when it comes to that.
No, you talk about what he brought to the playoffs last year. You see him right there standing next to Marchand. We don't win that cup if not for Seth Jones and Brad Marchand on that team. So you want to get the big guy back into the lineup as soon as possible. But as it stands right now, so he made 10 Florida Panther players making the Olympics. Unfortunately, not able to make it, replaced by an Anaheim Duck defenseman. But we do have 9 Florida Panthers headed to Milan for the Olympics. I mean, 4 of them play for Finland. So the United States, Canada is at the team to beat. We have Latvia out of the gate, Team USA, and the Tkachuk.
That's going to be, let me tell you something. If anything has shown us from what we saw in the Junior Olympics, that's going to be a tough one. So right out of the gate, I think it'll tell us exactly what we need to know. Yes, we would love to be able to sit there and say, hey, it's going to be Team Canada versus USA. We're going to have a rematch from the 4 nations once again. But you don't know that because of what we saw from the Junior Olympics. If that's any tell of what could be in store, we're going to have a tough one right out of the gate. But either way, you got to cheer because, I mean, even if it is, Finland or if it's Sweden or if it's, Latvia, we got so many guys spread across, like you said, 9 guys on this team in the Olympics. It's going to be fun to watch no matter what. Yeah,
I asked Nico Mikkola the other day, I'm like, you're going to see Panther red? Or he's like, nope. He's like, you play hockey, you play hard, and we all get it at the end. We're excited for the Olympics. We're excited for the stretch up into the Olympics. But, when they return home, it's going to be a sprint after the Olympic break. I think it's about a 6-week time frame. And then February 26th is Toronto right out of the gate. But then the trade deadline. And you can't think trade deadline without thinking general manager Bill Zito.
Zito is a master when it comes to that stuff.
First week of March. Roll back on those notes. I think the trade deadline is actually first week of March. March 6th,
March
3 p.m.
6th,
What do you think? Are we making a big deal here after the break?
If you're asking me, take a look inside the mind of Bill Zito. I think I'd have a better odd of being able to tell you the exact score of the Super Bowl because I don't know what's going on with him. He is the only one who knows, and a close circle knows what's going on. But in Bill Zito, we trust. The man has been a genius when it comes to exactly what the Florida Panthers need, when it comes to just what needs to be inside that locker room to what needs to be on the first to the fourth line. So we just need to trust in him and know that maybe he sees something in the future, or if he sees that there's a chance that we have to go after that playoff spot, that he goes ahead and he makes a move that's going to play such a huge part right off the bat.
Yeah, it's, gosh, when you think, nobody thought we were acquiring Brad Marchand at the trade deadline.
No, I mean, who would have?
No, but at the same time, do we look at the players coming back as like we're acquiring people? Because right after the, soon after the Olympic break, Tomas Nosik's coming back, Dmitry Kulikov, Jonah Gadjevic. I mean, those are three guys that were key in our last
Kulikov coming back is a massive help.
Gosh.
You have got to be able to help out on that defense. And like I said, this defense can't take any more hits. But we've been able to see a lot of these guys kind of progress. I mean, maybe those guys that were maybe going to sit back and have another 2 years to kind of develop, they're doing so now. And we're starting to see it. Thankfully, Mackey finding the back of the net a little bit quicker after, that dry spell that we saw. But he's starting to develop a lot quicker. And we heard from him, too, being able to say, you never want to see this happen, but this is giving them a chance to kind of progress maybe some of those guys that weren't going to see the ice so soon to kind of get a little bit more underneath.
I don't ever want to throw out two words together when it comes to who we have, but there's no goalie controversy here. I just want to say, don't look now, but Daniil Tarasov's on a 4-game unbeaten streak.
Yeah. Looked
very good on the road. Also looked good against the Chicago Blackhawks last night as we pounded them 5-1. But do we maybe, I don't know how it's going to shake out. Do we give Tarasov a little more looks down the stretch here, keep Bob fresh for the playoffs, or is there a question here at all?
I think you have to question it. I don't think at this point, especially with Bob's contract coming up, that you take a look at it and say, well, no, we have to be able to put in Tarasov when he needs to play. No, you put in the guy who's going to win you the games. Sure. At this point in time, it's not, okay, let's build up for the future. No, we can't do that. We don't have time for that. Like you just said, it's now pedal to the metal. We have to find a way to win these games and finish out strong. If Tarasov is the one who's looking good, you got to put him in the net. But if Bobby's holding strong, brick wall Bobby, you put him in there. You can't sit there and pick and choose. But I will say that Tarasov has come a long way from what we saw at the beginning, because it was a little rocky. And now here he is, and he's starting to learn how to play with this defense of what he's given. So imagine a strong defensive front yet again.
Come on.
We could never see a goal go in again with Tarasov.
Yeah, and there's people out there say, hey, don't talk about Bobby Balboa like that, because we are undefeated since the fight, by the way.
Yeah, Bobby, first off, I wasn't able to be here for that.
Yeah.
What a moment for the NHL.
Sugar Ray Sergey
blew up. Let me tell you.
Come on, man.
I mean, how much do you think that played such a huge part in just the game of hockey? Because, I mean, you see somebody mild-mannered. You and I have been there. Bobby is a man of few words, just actions, and he was all action in that game. And I think it was so great for the game of hockey to be able to see that, because that's a man who's ready to play and fight for his team. If you got a guy mild-mannered like Sergei Bobrovsky, who's willing to come fly down and put his mitts on the ground, you're going to, I say three-peat is alive at that moment. That's where I was like, okay, we have a chance.
There's not a player on the active roster, I don't think, that is scared to drop the gloves at all or shies away from it. We've both talked with Bob in person. He is the most humble, unassuming, nice gentleman type. Yeah. And to see that, I was like, okay, Bob, all right. Plus, it was Tkachuk's first game back when that fight happened. I know this happened a couple of games ago, but still worth mentioning. Do you know how much Tkachuk probably just loves seeing that? He's oh my God, it did rejuvenate the team.
And like you said, what a run they've been on since that. Yeah. Because, I mean, I think to them, to see somebody in that sense, it says, hey, we've got a lot of fight left in us. Yeah, we're going to go and try to represent for our home countries. But when we come back, we're back as a team. That locker room that Bill Zito has built is willing to go out there, and I think if it's proved anything, go out there and die on that ice for each other. Yeah. And I think that's something that you don't see out of a lot of these teams, and that's why they're not back-to-back Stanley Cup champs.
Exactly. And, just because it's not going to be as physical in the Olympics, I've learned, ask a lot of people, you can't drop the gloves in the Olympics or you'll be out of there. Yeah. But the intensity physicality leads right after that. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to fine tune Matthew when he comes back a little bit. And like we said, it's going to be the sprint to the playoff push. And we're 3 points as we speak right now, just 3 points out of a wild card.
Yeah.
That's
we got these
a week's
last
worth of
6.
work.
We
Easy.
we got to win these last. We got to make it the best. All right, you can't go any further down from 4 and 6 on these last 6 games.
And they know
we
that.
have to do that, and they know that. Like you and I said, I mean, we're on the verge of being just outside of it with how the East is gone. I mean, dominated, and it's been so difficult when you win games. You're like, we won one. It's like, oh yeah, well the other 6 or 7 guys that were right there with you, they all won as well.
With the news that viewership is up on Script Sports of Panthers games, 51% season to season, you can see that we analyze every game, folks. That's why we have these analyst segments every week. We want you to chime in, share this with your friends on our YouTube page, and of course, watch Panthers 360 every Wednesday night at 7:30 on South Florida's 9.
Yeah.
We'll bring Johnny in the house back. I'll take my tie off next time. But listen, we want to thank you for joining us here on your lunch break. It's a Monday. Now you can get the juices flowing. Don't forget we do this every Monday on the WPTV YouTube page at this exact same time right there. We get an analyst. Sometimes we bring John in the house. We pull him away from his football duties or whatever. But we're about to lock into Panthers playoff push mode.
All be Panthers
For sure.
here soon.
Thanks, folks, for joining us. We'll see you later. Have a great rest of the day.